Seattle needed a pass rusher, so they found a guy that never did that particularly well. Good for you. I mean, he'll help against the run because he's a ginormous human.
Right.
And they didn't give up anything to get him. I do love when teams when they make these trades that's rearranging furniture on the Titanic. Like, oh, your line sucks? Well, here's a lineman that won't play for us, and our line sucks. So there you go, B.J. Finney. Bye. Carlos Dunlop. Hi.
Yep.
You know, you're going to see a lot of deals like this, I think.
Oh, I think so.
I don't know that you're going to see any grandiose player. I don't know that you're going to see.
Off on Stephon Gilmore?
No. Did you see he put his house on the market?
Yeah.
Stephon Gilmore's trying to sell his house in New England, which gives a little bit of credence to what I said 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm. That's how the Carlos Dunlap thing took another step as well. So Stephon Gilmore could be very well moved. But I've heard no talk about anybody who's called on him or what.
On Gilmore?
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell you a few that have called. I can't tell you where he's going to wind up, but there have been presumptive talks.
Okay. The Bucs have to be one of them.
I've heard that one. I've heard the Eagles and the Ravens, which makes absolutely no sense. The Ravens call on everybody. I'm convinced Eric DeCosta just sits down on Tuesday and calls every team in the league and goes, what about that guy? Or that guy? Or that guy?
Right.
Or that guy? Because I swear to God they have called on every player I've ever heard was being shopped.
And the thing is that they continue to be players for all of them.
Yep. They wind up with half of them, which is just enough to piss me off.
Right. Yannick Ngakoue obviously being the latest All-Pro to go to the Baltimore Ravens. So if they get Stephon Gilmore, I mean, hell, they might be able to win a Super Bowl with that kind of defense. Just shut everybody out.
Who's their quarterback?
Lamar Jackson.
I still like Kansas City. I don't care who all you had.
Right.
As long as they have Pat Mahomes and you have Lamar can't throw Jackson, yeah, I'm good.
We are just days away from the NFL trade deadline. Really? You guys are shopping Quinnen Williams?
No, we're not.
Okay.
Why does this? Manish Mehta is the biggest douchebag in the world.
Yeah, that's where
we're shopping every good player we've ever had. We won't let you in the building. How in the hell would you possibly know this? I've had every Jet beat reporter that I know, and it's several of them, tell me they won't let Manish Mehta on the property. And that's who. Oh, they're shopping Quinnen Williams. No, they're not. He's 22 years old. Give me his job. I will do a markedly better job. You might not want to put me on air in New Jersey because, accent. But, fuck, give me his job. He's not doing it well.
Tonight in Thursday
I
night.
knew without even looking at the comments that Stephen Tao was going to say something to what I said about Lamar Jackson. Yes, they lost to the Raiders. I understand. They still have Pat Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying your team's not good. Everybody thinks that what I say about the Ravens means I think they suck. I don't think they suck. I just think it's too easy to game plan to stop you if you have the talent. There's not a lot of teams that have the talent. It's just the ones that do. It's not exactly like, the Da Vinci Code to figure out how to stop you.
Mm-hmm. Tonight is Thursday Night Football. We get the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. I look forward to seeing the Panthers get another win here to improve their record and break even through 8 weeks of the season, a mark that we never thought they would be at. Christian McCaffrey, is he going to play tonight? He's been practicing.
I'm going to say no, just because why? I mean, isn't there a bye coming up after this week?
I think so.
So why? Why would you do that? Mike Davis has been fine. Atlanta can't stop the run anyway. Mm-hmm. I think they'll give him the extra week to rest up. I mean, even let's say he's looking up as to whether the bye is this week or if it's in my head. Right. I have taken a lot of drugs in the last 24 hours. So if I say something that doesn't make a lot of sense, that's probably why. But, I mean, why would you do it? Worst case scenario, you got a 10-day layoff here to get him completely right as opposed to rushing him back.
Right.
And you're a playoff contender. Roll Mike Davis.
Roll Mike Davis.
Yep.
Okay. I think McCaffrey may get into the ball game just for a few snaps tonight, but I think
CMC
it's really going to depend
out,
on whether
by the way.
or not. Huh?
CMC is out.
Oh, he is out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there goes that.
Brent Cotnola, much love. We had some rainy issues in the studio.
Yeah, we've been mopping since we got here.
And, yet again, I can't stress this enough. I have done all the cold drugs in one day, which is apparently how you beat all viruses.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Fauci, call me. I will tell you how to beat coronavirus because I beat whatever the hell I had yesterday in one day because I feel like $1 million. Still sound like shit, but I feel like $1 million.
Mm-hmm. The answer to your question is no.
Oh, so they play in 10 days?
Yes.
And who they play?
The Chiefs.
There you go. Fire him up against the Chiefs.
They will be at Kansas City next week. So, not good. Kansas City going to have fun this weekend. I know that much is true.
Yeah, that line was at 21.5 as of yesterday afternoon.
It's getting closer.
And it might be higher now.
It's getting closer to the record. You said the record was 23?
23. It's the modern-day record for the highest over-under.
If you're not aware, Kansas City Chiefs do play the New York Jets this weekend.
That's the best team in the league, arguably, playing not arguably the worst team in the league.
Over in the NBA, Silas has been named the new head coach of the Houston Rockets.
I don't understand what NBA searches in one of three ways. You either hire a big name that's not a great coach, you hire a small name that might be a great coach but has no cachet whatsoever, or you just do some dumb shit like hiring Steve Nash.
Yeah.
We waited this long for Silas. Okay, then. We talked about Jeff Van Gundy, Sam Cassell, Mark Jackson, Matthew McConaughey. I mean, they talked about every name in the freaking world, and you wound up with Silas, which is probably a sound hire.
Is it, though? I mean, he's been an assistant in the NBA for, 20 years now?
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, his dad is Paul Silas, former great player, former decent coach. I think he was a good coach.
He was okay.
He was fine. He had nothing to write home about, but he was fine.
I think he was fine when he had players. When he came to Charlotte and there was nothing, he obviously sucked ass. Because he was the coach of those Bobcats.
I don't really care how good of a coach you are. If you don't have players, you're screwed.
Right. And Silas goes to Houston. I think it's probably the best case scenario for him personally.
Oh, it's 100% the best case scenario for him. What I'm worried about, and in the AP story that they put out about him, he has a history with big names and things like that. This is not just two big names. This is two of the biggest egos in NBA history. So you're going to have to manage that, and your reputation as a head coach is non-existent. You don't have one. So that will be interesting to watch. I think it will be fine, but I don't know that.
You don't know that to be true?
No.
The Philadelphia 76ers are going to hire Daryl Morey to be their president of basketball operations. There is no word on what this will mean for Elton Brand and his slot as the GM.
He just got demoted. I'll tell you exactly what it means. If I had a bet of where does Daryl Morey land, Philadelphia would have been dead last, because you do realize that Daryl Morey was the mentor of Trust the Process, Sam Hinkie.
Yep.
Hinkie was his assistant GM. I am stunned that Philadelphia went, well, that ended not great. Let's do it again. we had Danielson. Now let's get Mr. Miyagi.
Well, apparently he was the one that they wanted when they hired Brand. So,
well, I mean, it's more power to you.
They're going with it. And
you know what it's going to lead to? A lot of trades. Nobody has made more trades since Daryl Morey became a GM than Daryl Morey.
And he'll be able to swing something. And does this put the core of that young team in danger in your mind, though?
No.
Is he going to shift?
It puts Tobias Harris in danger to me, because he has shown an absolute predilection of not caring about money. I don't care how much you make. I care how talented you are. I care how you fit with this team. Trevor Ariza is already sitting by the phone waiting for the phone call. Nobody has been traded for or away by Daryl Morey more than Trevor Ariza. Actually, there was one guy, but I can't remember his name. He acquired and traded the same guy away 7 times. Who has, by the way, never played a game in the NBA.
Really?
Yes. He has traded for his rights and then traded them away 7 times.
Was this Alexei Ajinka? No, I think he actually did. I think he actually did play.
I'll
Actually,
have
hell, he may still be on the roster.
Alexia Jenkins definitely played in the NBA.
Yeah.
Because there was a long time in DFS that my motto of the night was, I'll have the agenda. Because if he was the only big guy, you fired his ass up.
Right.
He sucked as a real-life basketball player, but my God, could he accumulate stats.
All right. The Utah Jazz are being sold.
That kind of surprised me.
And
I'll tell you this, the number one thing that you should take away, they got $1.6 billion for the Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I understand that comes with the arena. I get that. But that's only worth so much. You're still in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's apparently an agreement that they're not going to move the franchise. That kind of tells me that they think that this year, they had a 10% drop in revenue in the NBA. The group that bought this team obviously thinks this is a one-year blip year, and that they will get back to normal, and of which I tend to agree.
I believe that. I believe that's true. I don't think it's long-lasting. I think the fans will come back, even though the ratings were so low this year. I think the fans will come back. Maybe not right away.
Oh, I mean, the ratings were duty water, but that's the only sport I'm really holding that against is baseball, because there was an obvious trajectory that this just followed. The NBA, it was good shit, and everything else is the same way.
Right. I think once the politics dies down,
that will certainly help, whether anybody wants to admit it or not.
Yeah, and I think more people are on the other side of that. That even if you believe that to be true, you believe it's going to change.
I don't know what you're saying, but I'm going to agree with you, because
it's been that kind of day.
Well, just again, NyQuil. I'm currently dangerous to drive a car. I won't be in about an hour, but for now, I am.
Right. The Dallas Cowboys released Don Terry Poe because he's too fat.
Because he's fat ass. Mm-hmm. So he has officially been dubbed Fat Don Terry Poe.
Fat Don Terry.
We have confirmation that he's fat from Jarrah. Well, 5'11", not too good.
Not too good. All right, Thursday night football tonight, Panthers and the Falcons. Are you ready to make a pick on this thing?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to take Carolina. I think Carolina wins. It's a 2.5-point spread. I think they're going to cover that. I think it goes over the 51. Atlanta's been playing defense, and this is not a well-coached team. I think Carolina is. That tends to be the most important thing on Thursday Night Football. Who's the best coach team? Who's the most organized team? And I think that's Carolina. Mm-hmm. So I'll take Carolina minus the 2.5, and I'm going to go over the 51.
All right, I will agree with you on both sides there, because the Atlanta Falcons just can't find ways to win ball games right now. I will say that I do think this is a chance for them to.
A chance for them to win?
Yeah, this will be one of their
winnable games?
Well, yeah, one of the games that I don't look at and go, yep, that's a loss.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I think it's going to be a competitive game. I actually think this might be an entertaining game. Atlanta's been together so long, and like I said, I think Carolina is so well coached that I think the fact it's a short week, you're not going to see a redo of Eagles-Giants. Mm-hmm. The Eagles are, I think, reasonably well coached. The Giants are just a train wreck. I don't think you're going to see that again. If you do, it'll be the Falcons getting a hell beat out of them. Mm-hmm. Raheem Morris on a short week makes me nervous. It's always going to make me nervous. It's. I'm taking the Panthers minus 2.5, and I feel good as long as it stays under 5.
Yeah, and for your fantasy rosters, fire
Mike
up all the receivers.
Davis. Jesus, Mike Davis. Mike Davis is going to go ham sandwich, and yeah, I feel like I've said this every week for about a month now. I really like DJ Moore tonight. Robbie Anderson's become the one, whether anybody wants to admit it or not.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's getting one coverage every week, which means he's probably going to get a safety over the top tonight to keep him from beating him deep, which means DJ Moore's going to catch little swingy passes and little screens and drags, and he'll have a bunch of catches, and if he breaks one, he'll have a bunch of yards, and he might get in the end zone. Mm-hmm. I'm not sitting Robbie Anderson, though. There's no two Atlanta Falcons that make me feel good enough about the defense of him that I'm going to go, no, I'd rather play who's in that? Travis Fulgham or some shit like that. I'm still playing Robbie Anderson. I think he'll be fine. I would say I like DJ Moore better.
At this point, I'm starting to feel like Robbie Anderson is an every week start.
He is. And I think DJ Moore is too.
Yeah, at least as a flex.
Yeah.
In just about every league.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I think Robbie Anderson's in that bottom end. I would say he's a mid-tier wide receiver too. He stays about 20 in my rankings every week, and that's a guy you just can't sit down.
Right. 112 yards against the Atlanta Falcons his last time out. So I like him tonight as well. Anything else about tonight's game?
I think this will be a test of the Carolina defense because this is a high-flying – this can be a high-flying offense. This is a quarterback that throws 400 yards on you if you allow him to. I think Carolina's going to get pressure on him. I like Carolina's defense a lot tonight because I think they're going to get pressure on him. I think they're going to hit him. And you know, I think it'll be fun.
I look for Matt Ryan to still put up his stats. That means Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley are probably going to get theirs as well. I like every piece of this. Not saying they're all starts of the week or anything, but they're definitely all playable tonight in fantasy football. So we're both on the Carolina Panthers to win and over.
Yeah, I'm going over the 51. I think they're both going to score pretty easily. I can see this being 38-31, 38-30, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yep. Major League Baseball is now investigating Justin Turner.
Only Major League Baseball could find a way to make the Rona the story of their World Series. You have one chance here because you have a team that just broke a 2-year curse. 32 is the year after I was born. I'm 33.
Yeah.
They just broke a 32-year dry spell. It's one of the most popular teams in the league, and the number one thing you want to talk about is the Rona. Because you're baseball, and that's why you suck, and that's why you don't get any attention from me.
Right. There's a lot of people talking, should Justin Turner be suspended for this?
Go to hell.
Shut up.
My God, the man just won a ring. Do you realize how hard it is to win a ring?
Oh, yeah.
Would you like me to go down the list of all-timers that never wound up with a ring? Because I can do it. This guy was excited. He has no symptoms. We're all fine. This is not the bubonic plague, okay? He won't be dead in a week, I promise.
Right.
And if one more person says he kissed his wife, I guarantee you he did a hell of a lot more than kiss his wife.
Well, here's my thing about it is he already had it. He's already been positive the entire friggin' game. He's been around his teammates.
If they were going to get it from him, they've had every opportunity to get it from him, you morons.
Exactly.
Because your testing is so stupid that you allowed him to play 8 innings before you figured it out.
Right.
Don't try to deflect the blame here. The blame lays on you, not him.
Right. A couple of more minutes of exposure is not going to do anything. It's not going to make any difference, I don't believe, for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And don't give me what about the families that were on the field. He was nowhere near anybody else's family.
Nope.
He wasn't even around his manager, Dave Roberts, long enough to, according to what the CDC has told us about being in close proximity with somebody, you got to be around them for 15 minutes. It wasn't anywhere near that. So stop it with the fear porn.
The second wave, Pauly Shore, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jennifer Garner. The second wave.
The second wave. Also, were you aware that there was a race last night?
Nope. Didn't know, didn't care.
God damn.
Got an alert that said Kyle Busch won.
Yeah.
Great success.
But damn, think about it. Think about it. This is a sport that when it was the only thing going on, it was the only thing we had to talk about, and how fast and completely it disappeared from the mainstream sphere once everything came back.
Are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised, but I just think it's kind of hilarious because I was not even aware that Sunday's race had been postponed and was run yesterday. My guy Kyle Busch wins it, getting his first win of the season, right in the right time at the playoffs, by the way. But I just think it's hilarious how just completely it went from everyone's sphere of influence.
I mean, I think we all knew that was going to happen. Oh, when we have options. Look, and I like NASCAR. Your playoffs are stupid. The system is convoluted. And it is what it is. You are what you are. I will agree with Kevin Vick. NASCAR's better than baseball. I'm not going to agree on the NBA, but
None on the NBA.
I will not agree on. I will not agree on the NBA. I like the NBA probably more than most, and I hate baseball far more than most. Mm-hmm. I have an actual vendetta against baseball, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
A vendetta.
Yep.
Just because it's stupid.
No. You want me to tell you where my you want me to tell you where my baseball vendetta came from?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, you know, they put the little bottom line on ESPN. Mm-hmm. This was before, you know, the interwebs and things where I could readily look shit up on my phone. That little bottom line, I used to get scores from that for games that I couldn't watch because I was a little kid and I was stupid and every game wasn't on television. Mm-hmm. I used to have to sit through baseball scores for an obnoxious period of time. And I don't care. I've wasted more of my life waiting on Major League Baseball scores to flip through the bottom line than I've wasted on anything in my life, including 2 failed marriages.
Wow.
Great success.
That's pretty strong. I'm with you, Kevin. He says he's a Hornets fan, so
I'm
yes,
down.
NASCAR is better than the NBA to him.
Yeah. Chris Enfield said golf's better than NASCAR. Agreed.
Yep, agreed.
You get a win. I feel so good today that I'm just handing out victories.
I can't believe I just agreed with that. Me and Mr.
Hurt, didn't it?
Mr. Anti-Golf guy.
Hurt, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, hey, we got us a big ass tournament next week, and I can't wait.
A big ass tournament next week.
The Masters is in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah. You said tournament. I thought basketball for some reason.
No.
I was like, that's not happening next
No,
week.
we're talking about golf.
Okay, yeah, we do have the Masters next week.
Yes.
All right.
The cold medicine's worn off.
Yeah.
I think I'm safe to be out in public again.
Well, we got to get back to work to the flood mitigation issues that we've had here in the studio today.
Speaking of that, if you find a leak in your roof, call our buddies at Brightman Home Solutions. There is nobody, if you're in Western North Carolina, there's nobody better to look at your roof. These guys are fantastic. They're dear friends of ours. And we know that somebody out there that's listening to the show is going to see a leak in the roof after what just happened here over the course of the last 12 hours.
Right.
There is nothing worse than looking in the phone book and going, which one's better? Because some are good and some are not. Mm-hmm. These guys are fantastic. Brockman Home Solutions, you can find them through any of my social media. They're not hard guys to find, but they're fantastic when it comes to things that happen with your roof.
At the Sportsocracy on all of the social medias. Be sure to like it, share it, and follow it. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah.
We'll be on the air this afternoon on ESPN Asheville for the Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene every weekday afternoon at 3 p.m. You can hear it everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We'll see you on the radio side back here tomorrow morning to get ready for the weekend slate in football, 9 a.m., Facebook and YouTube Live. Have a good day.